Okay, let's see. Attendees are joining. So I don't think I had the waiting room enabled, which is great. Everyone can join. Hi, everyone. Happy Monday.
Hello.
Yes, we'll just give everyone just a brief moment to join. Looks like everyone's in the right place. We're going to be talking about Google My Business today and local search to start off your week. Get excited.
Hope everyone had a great weekend and enjoyed the nice weather before this freezing cold weather hit this morning. I don't know where everyone's located, but we're in Oklahoma and we're greeted with 45-degree weather this morning. It's a little chilly out there.
I know. It started dropping yesterday. I woke up and it was beautiful, and then it just got colder and colder. Well, welcome everyone. For those of you that are new joining, and you guys, I have a random weird song going on my phone. Oh, geez. If you're just now joining, I feel like drop in the comments like where you're located. We'd love to know, or maybe even the name of your business. We'd love to know who you are and where you're joining from. And we are going to be sharing our screen today. At least I think I have the comments enabled on here. Can you tell, Allie, on your end?
I don't see any notes coming through. If someone could just type something in the chat and hit send so we could test that, that'd be great.
Assuming there is a chat. If there's not, then that is something new, I feel like.
I see, yeah. So welcome. We've got Amanda Reed Weddings from Northwest Arkansas. Hi, Amanda.
Yes, hi, Amanda.
We've got Simran from Michelle Early Insurance Agency. If I pronounce any names wrong, I apologize.
Hello.
And I think Early Insurance Agency is in Edmond, Oklahoma, which is also where we're located. So welcome.
Yes. Yes, if you're just now joining and you have access to the chat functionality, we'd love to know who you are and where you're joining from. If you have a second, we're going to give it probably just 2 or 3 more minutes before we start. What I was saying is that we are going to be sharing our screen today. So hopefully on your device, you're going to be able to kind of take a look at the slides that we're using, whether you're on your phone or your laptop or whatnot. Got some really useful slides. Jennifer from Clubhouse Trailer Company in Edmond, and Two Wishes Ranch Events in Lockhart, Texas. Hello,
and
Lauren.
One from New Jersey as well.
Oh, hi. Yes, lovely events, and let it be a party. I love that, from New Jersey. Is it cold in New Jersey? I bet it is.
I know, I'm talking about 45 degrees. It's probably a lot colder there.
Yes. And hi, Mona from Dallas. Awesome, awesome. We'll just use this as a little bit of a networking opportunity too, so everyone can see who's joining. This is a series of webinars that WED Society is hosting, WED Society. And this one in particular is sponsored by BrandLink Media, which is a digital marketing firm that specializes in helping small and solopreneurs kind of level up their business, brings a lot of digital marketing strategy to the table. Allie is my colleague on the BrandLink side. She's also very familiar with WED Society as well. WED Society is our wedding vendor community. You can just go to wedsociety.com and learn more about resources that we're sharing with the wedding vendors that will help them in their day-to-day business operations. There's lots of great content on WED Society. And then once a month, we're also hosting these webinars that have been extremely beneficial. We've covered branding, we've covered topics on social media, but I'm really excited today to dive deeper into Google My Business and local search. Such an important area for so many companies, and it's an area that Google is only doing more and more with. So the more we can learn about it, the more we can boost our exposure on Google, the world's largest search engine. So I think if we have pretty much everyone, we're right on time, 10:05, we can go ahead and get started. Are you ready, Allie?
I am ready. Let me get my screen shared here and we will go ahead and jump right in.
Yes. So like I said, this is a series of webinars. We're calling it Marketing Made Easy, and we've covered several different topics. So thank you for joining this one on Google My Business. Allie is getting the slides pulled up right now, and we'll just dive in. Hopefully everyone can see this really well. Allie, if you notice anything in the chats or someone has a question, please just, let me know. And I know you're going to be chiming in here too, but
Yes, absolutely. Can y'all see my screen?
yes, just flag us if you can. I think this is the first webinar we've done with actual slides, so I can see the chat indication, but okay, awesome. Mona says yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, we'll go ahead and get started then.
Yes, well, good morning, everyone. Thank you guys for joining us. I promise you this is a great way to kick off your week. You're gonna feel so much better walking away from today's webinar about some just little and big things that you can do with respect to Google My Business and local search to help your business rank in Google. So what we're going to cover today is really three main things. One is how to set up and optimize your Google My Business profile. Two is best practices to use when you're setting up your business so that you have the opportunity to rank in local searches. So it's not just enough to set up your Google My Business profile, but what are some of the practices and the techniques that we can use to help our business rank in local search? And then three, at the end, we have some website tips that are going to help you with your organic Google search ranking. So we hope you'll stick around for the full presentation today. We wanted to start just by explaining, what Google My Business is. This is a snapshot of a profile for actually a local business that we do a lot of work for here in Oklahoma City. It's called Renew Wellness and Aesthetics. It's a new med spa that opened just about a year ago. So this is their profile, and Google My Business is just a free tool for businesses to manage their online presence across Google, including search and maps. Whether you're on a mobile device, desktop, laptop, tablet, these are the top profile and listings that appear in search results when you Google any keyword phrase or even a specific business. This appears right at the top of your Google results. And so it's very, very important. There's plenty of businesses that still have not claimed their Google My Business listing. And there is a process that we'll talk briefly about how to go about doing that if you haven't done that. But you'll want to make sure that if you are a service-based business or have a physical storefront, that you have a Google My Business set up for your company. Let's see, right here, wanted to cover a few points about why Google My Business is so important. First of all, Google is just a search engine giant, right? And so the only way that you can manage what's happening about your business and even respond to reviews that people might be leaving about your business is if you have a Google My Business profile. So you're going to be able to manage your business presence on the world's largest search engine. You can also highlight special offerings that your business offers. And this is a great opportunity to kind of differentiate yourself from the competition. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into that as well. And if you have a Google My Business that's fully optimized, then you're going to have the opportunity to rank in the local Google Maps pack. And that's sort of a term of art, and it's the three listings that you see associated with a map on Google when you search for a specific.
One second, I apologize. I lost I'm doing all this on the laptop here, so I'm trying to manage a lot.
You're okay. But these are the map listings that you see, whether you're, again, on a mobile device or you're on your desktop or laptop. You see your map, and then you see the top 3 local listings for businesses. It used to be top 7. Google's condensed that to the top 3, and then you can actually fold down and see more results if you want. But the top 3 really get a lot of exposure on Google because they're in the top 3 local map pack results. So as we get into today's presentation, we're going to talk about how to go about optimizing your Google My Business so that you have that opportunity to rank in the local map packs.
All right, I think we're back in business. Can you all see this again?
I can see it, yes.
Okay, sorry about that. And then we had this question, what if they don't have a physical location?
Yeah, and that's no problem either. I think there is a little misconception that if you don't have a physical location that you can't have a Google My Business profile, but you can if you're a service-based business, even not having a physical location, but you would need to specify a service area or a primary service area that you serve. And you can do that through just putting your city or zip code of the main service area that you service. You can also add multiple service areas, but you'll definitely have to, specify a primary one. So a lot of people, especially independent, wedding business owners don't want to share their personal home address, and they may work from home to operate their business, but that's okay. And we're going to show some examples later where you can still see those pulling into the local map packs that we just talked about.
And I think the other thing to add here too is if you are a business with multiple locations, make sure you're setting up a Google My Business profile for each of your locations. And there is a way to manage all of the different locations. So, if it's a company that has multi locations, you'll again just want to make sure that you're setting that up for each one. So this is where we're going to talk a little bit about how to set it up. And this is what the website looks like when you go to Google My Business. But essentially, all you have to do is type in business.google.com. It's really easy to do. They walk you through the whole process. And this is if you have not claimed your Google My Business profile. If you have claimed it, you should be able to log in by going to business.google.com. And we actually have a video on our YouTube channel, on Wed Society's YouTube channel, and you can watch that step-by-step video. It'll walk you through exactly how to set up. It's just a 5-minute video. It's super easy to do.
Yes, in fact, we'll drop the link to that YouTube video into the chat so that everyone has that and can watch it if they have any questions. Okay. So what is this local map pack that I've described? And here is an example of it. And we actually Googled Oklahoma wedding planner. And you can see the top 3 results that Google is pulling in and displaying in the local map pack results for this keyword search phrase. So again, this is just the set of 3 highlighted Google Maps-based results featuring the most highly ranked businesses based on the factors that determine local rankings. And we are going to cover what those factors are and how you can ensure that your business is playing to its strengths and is optimized for Google local search. On this particular slide, if you'll go back one second, yes. On this particular slide, I just wanted to point out that the second result here for Marie Rose Events actually does not have a physical address, at least a street address listed, but just like what we advised earlier, it does say Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and she actually does appear on the map pack with the red icon above for a particular zip code and service area. So this is just an example of, even if you don't have a physical address that you want to share, you still have the capability of ranking in local search. The power of the map pack on mobile. So just, if you guys dive deep into your analytics for your business, a lot of times what you might discover is that the vast majority of your website traffic is coming from mobile. For our business, it's like 70% of our traffic is mobile. And so with everything that we do, we are trying to optimize our website in everything for that mobile experience. With respect to the map pack on mobile, the first slide here to the left shows you based on my phone, and I have that iPhone, oh gosh, it's probably not one of the newest, but it's not one of the oldest. I don't think it's a 10, but this is my screenshot of what I see when I search Oklahoma wedding planners on Google on my phone. So the map pack takes up the entire real estate of the phone. And I actually only even see the first two listings there, local listings. So this is prime real estate, and it's all tied to your Google My Business profile. Now, as I scroll down, the screenshot to the right there shows you what else appears. And again, it shows that third listing. It doesn't appear above the fold on my phone, but as I scroll down, it appears right there. I could click to see even more businesses in the local map pack. And then Brides of Oklahoma is our local wedding media company. We also have Brides of North Texas and Houston and Austin, for those of you guys that are familiar with the media brands. But you can see that then those those organic search listings outside of what appears in the local map pack begin to appear. So these local listings appear above even the organic search listings. So just hugely important, and such an opportunity for local businesses. And then we have a little stat over here that they're displayed above the traditional text-only links, which is like the Brides of Oklahoma one here, and that these links grab as much as 44% of clicks on the search engine result pages. And so almost 50% of clicks go to local businesses based on the keyword phrase that people are searching for. So very, very important. And moving on here, so just how do we go about ranking in the map pack? And Allie, you feel free to just chime in whenever. I know I'm just kind of rattling on and on here.
No.
There are 3 factors, and let's just go ahead and show them all.
Okay.
3 factors to rank in the map pack, and it's called relevance, distance, and prominence. And so relevance is how well a local business profile matches what someone is searching for, based on those keyword searches, or even more specifically, if they're searching for your actual company, then obviously that's highly relevant and it's going to appear there. Distance, I mean, because the local map pack is tied to map-based results, how far each potential search result is from the location term used in a search is also an important factor to Google when ranking those results. And if someone, so that means like Oklahoma wedding planner, we use that, or if I search wedding planner, OKC is just, a term that people use here in Oklahoma for Oklahoma City. If they include those types of, local descriptors, then that's how, Google starts to display results based on distance. If they don't use that, if they just search wedding planner, then Google is going to take the information that it knows based on where you are located and your device. And then it's going to display results that are near you based on your device and your location. So you may have noticed that when you go on vacation, you might be looking for a restaurant or whatnot, and that's how it pulls in those results. And then prominence is something we're going to spend a little bit more time on. It's basically just how well known a business is. That's really the best way to say it. And I think there are some practices, whether you're new to the industry, or you're one of the most notable names, like I think you can build your prominence pretty quickly if you just walk through the right steps to do so. So we'll talk a little bit more about prominence as well.
And I think the thing I would add here that's important to remember is that Google is very secretive about their algorithm. So, no one has the right answers for exactly how to do this, but all this information has been pulled from sources from Google, actually, and this is what they say are their factors for ranking. So even though they don't release the exact information, if you follow these best practices, you do have the greatest chance for ranking in that map pack.
Yes, absolutely. So if we want to like dive a little bit deeper and understand prominence as a ranking factor, here's basically what we know that they look at and what's important. Um, Web links to your website. These are backlinks. These are, any and all links of people sharing information about your site, and even social shares where you might be including web links to your website or to a particular blog post or whatnot. Google knows all of this information, and these are in no particular order, but that is something that they look at in terms of figuring out whether a business is prominent or not. Um, Articles, directories. Directories are like, like Brides of Oklahoma is a third-party directory site where wedding vendors can advertise. Um, any sort
Yelp.
of industry-specific third-party directory sites. Yelp, yes. What else, Allie, on the directory?
There's Yelp, there's a lot of local ones. Oklahoma City's got some. And then you also have just like Yellow Pages, and there's Thumbtack. And so there's some services that are available that can help you get listed on all these directories. It's not necessarily sites that have high traffic when you go into the ones like Thumbtack, or the ones that might be a little bit more niche, but it will help with your website's ranking on Google to have those types of listings, especially if they will backlink to your site, which goes back to the top point here, which is the web links to your site.
Yes, and BrandLink, we'll talk about it at the very end, actually offers a listing management service where we help businesses achieve more directory listings and citations back to their website in a tactful way. But many of the directory sites are actually free or offer some version of a free listing that you can have. And then the other thing that we do is make sure that that listing is consistent with your Google My Business profile, and that every directory listing is consistent across the board. We'll get into why that's so important here in a minute, but from street address to the name of your business, back to sort of the Renew Wellness example that we gave at the beginning. If in one place it said Renew Wellness, and another place it said, Renew Aesthetics, and another place it said Renew Wellness and use the ampersand, and then another place it didn't, like all of those inconsistencies send, the wrong signals to Google. And they want to know that you are who you say you are, and that your name is consistent across all of these third-party directory sites. So Google review count, just how many reviews you have on Google, just the sheer volume. Google review score, and you don't have to have a perfect score, but obviously that, how well you are ranking on Google is a consideration for this prominence factor, probably because they don't want 1-star reviews to always appear in a local map pack as the top results for a particular keyword phrase. So we can talk, or we actually will touch on review strategies a little bit later in the presentation today. And then just your position in organic web results, which ties into the last one, which is SEO best practices. And again, like Ali said, no one knows Google's precise algorithm for how you rank number one. What we know is what Google tells us, which is usually sort of high-level information about what's important to them. And so we've seen far too many times people fall into the trap of paying lots and lots and lots of money, with a guarantee that they're going to be on page one for a particular web result. And so just be careful, and there are some best practices, and you absolutely should pay attention to your organic web results and your SEO on a month-to-month basis. But just be leery. I think I saw a hand raise with a question.
I can't see it because of the slideshow. If you could take a look.
Okay, yeah. Will there be a replay? Will there be a replay? We will be publishing this presentation on Wed Society. It will probably be about 30 days from now, but we will be publishing that on Wed Society.
And I'll add as well, we mentioned the YouTube video earlier on setting up your Google My Business profile. Our Wed Society channel does also have videos on SEO best practices. And so while you're on there looking at setting up your Google My Business profile, feel free to hop over and watch a few of those other videos if hearing us talk about SEO is confusing. We have some resources on that online as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's keep going. So that's all that kind of ties into prominence. And then, sometimes you may, scratch your head thinking like, this business is so far away in terms of like distance. Why is Google pulling it in? And it's again, because of the weight that they place on all of these factors, relevance, distance, and prominence. And so sometimes the algorithm may decide that a business that's farther away is more likely to have what the searcher is looking for than a business that's closer. So don't place, too much importance on that proximity element. There's the factors as a whole are weighted as a whole to display those results. And there are ways to make your business, more prominent and more relevant. And we're going to get even more into that.
Yeah, so I'll just sum it up here. Any business listings that you have claimed and Google calls it verified. That's very important that it is verified and regularly updated, and also both strong reviews and ratings. So all the factors that we talked about, those are the ones that are most likely to rank at the top of local search and to be featured in the Google Map Pack. So yes, best practices, make sure that you're keeping it regularly updated, keep an eye on those reviews, and make sure that your business is claimed for sure. Where to start?
Yeah. I know. So when you start to really optimize your Google My Business, hopefully most of you on the call have claimed it. You do have a verified listing. But it's not enough just to do those two steps. What you have to do is make sure it is fully optimized. And so what we recommend is starting with competitor research. And, you really need to know what are people searching for when they're looking for my business, other than my name. If they know specifically, like, how can I capture those new customers that are searching on Google for my business? What are they searching for? And, sometimes, you can delve as deep as you want here. We specialize in helping people with this competitor research, especially if you're in an industry or field that is highly competitive. There are, lots of tools that we use for this. One of the tools, though, a free tool that's at your disposal, is Google's keyword research tool. It's called Keyword Planner, I believe, and they make this available for people that end up wanting to run paid ads. And so it will tell you sort of the competitiveness of keywords and give you the search volume, tell you how frequently people are searching XYZ, keyword. Oklahoma wedding planner, for instance, is that popular? Is it not? A lot of times we see that clients come to us and they say, oh, I know exactly what people are searching for me. And then as we get into, sort of their gut feeling and do our own research, we discover, 10 other really powerful related keywords that people are actually searching for that they had no idea. A good example is right here to the left. And estate planning. Okay, so this is estate planning services. I believe the query was, estate planning attorney or estate planning lawyer or something. Well, you can see that it looks like Ball Morse Low over to the left is obviously wanting to rank for this keyword, which, by the way, you'll see to the left of their star ratings that it says ad. Google does allow one placement for an ad in the local map packs, and it doesn't scream that it's an ad, but you do notice that it's denoted as such. But take a look here at the business listings that are pulling in for estate planning services locally. And it's these three firms, Cortez, Terrell, and Elizabeth Richards, all have their Google My Business optimized for estate planning attorney. That's their primary category. Balmore Slow up here at the top has family law attorney. And family law, as we know, like estate planning ties into family law. Family lawyers also handle divorces and child custody and that sort of thing. But if Balmore Slow really wants to rank in the local map pack for estate planning, their primary category probably should be estate planning attorney. And they may not want to rank for estate plan. They may want to rank for family law. Here's another example. We've seen people that want to rank for family law and they classify themselves as such. But guess what? There's also a category in Google for divorce lawyer. And divorce lawyer is a more highly searched keyword phrase. So there's a lot of dynamics and research that really needs to go into this to really know what you need to set as your primary category. Google has these preset. You can't just create any category you want, but they do have 3,000 different categories of how they're classifying businesses. So you choose one as your primary, and you can actually choose up to 9 other categories. I wouldn't recommend doing 9 other if you were in a very, very niche industry and you only do one specific thing. Like you don't want to just add keywords and categories that are related but are not really something that your business focuses on. So, but picking the primary category is super important. Anything you'd add to that, Allie?
Yes, just as an example of multiple categories and when it makes sense, I think about our digital marketing agency that we have. It's Brandlink Media, and we offer a ton of different services, everything from social media management to website development to branding to graphic design. So that's when it would make more sense to go ahead and fill out those maximum numbers of different categories, because those are all services that we're trying to reach people with and that we offer. Like Ashley said, if it's something a little bit more niche and maybe you're only offering one calligraphy, or it's a very specific type of service, you might be more limited.
But I would, even if you don't want to do like advanced keyword research or consult with anyone on what those keywords should be, just look at your competitors. Look at your competitors, see how they're classifying themselves, see who is ranking in the top 3, local map pack results, and use that as your guide. And then I also share all the time that Google itself, like when you start typing in a keyword phrase, it drops down and it tells you other related keyword phrases that, it thinks you might be about. It's sort of an autocomplete function for your search. Those are indicators that those are popular search phrases. And then even when you submit a query, at the bottom of a Google search result page, you'll see related searches at the bottom. So sometimes those also are great ways to kind of learn what people are searching for.
And this is absolutely something that we can help you guys with. We'll touch on this, like Ashley said, a little bit more at the end and what that would look like. But just wanted to bring that up now while we're talking about competitor research, because there are a lot of really great third-party tools that you can use for this. We've already touched on this a little bit, but we will just go ahead and touch on it one more time here since we've got a slide. The importance of NAP or NAP. I've heard it said both ways, but stands for name, address, and phone number. And this is the example that Ashley gave earlier with Renew, where you just want to make sure that it's consistent everywhere. So Renew Wellness and Aesthetics, or Renew Aesthetics. You wouldn't want it to say Renew Med Spa. You really want that consistency across all internet properties, and make sure that your business name is prominent. The search engines, especially Google, it's not going to prioritize your site if they don't believe that it's legitimate. And so NAP or NAPE does signal that legitimacy and can increase your likelihood that you'll rank well. So name, address, and phone number. And jumping back to our previous topic about listing management, this is something that can help with that. It just essentially goes to all of the different listing sites and makes sure that it's consistent across the different properties.
I would definitely highly recommend revisiting this. And if you've gone through a rebrand recently, or you've renamed yourself at all, or you've moved your business and you had a storefront location, it probably is great to reach out to someone that can help with listing management and ensure that, again, everything's consistent across all internet properties. It is a sign of trustworthiness in the eyes of Google, that everything is consistent and that you are who you say you are. And so if things are inconsistent, it can be, it can set you back.
And I'll add something here. It's a little bit off topic, but I think it's very relevant. I was chatting with a business recently, and it was a wedding venue, and they had done a name change a few years back, and their Facebook account was still under the old name. And while it might not be so important for ranking organically on Google, it is really important, just going back to that consistency, that you're using your most current name on all of your social handles. So just another quick note to check that and make sure that you're being consistent there. Now, how to set up and optimize. We've talked a lot about why it's important and the map pack and how to rank there, but how do you actually set it up? So we've got some tips here. Number one, complete your profile fully. So there are a lot of different sections that you can fill out. Address, URL would be for your website. There's the about section. They have a little section that's from the business where you can write a note. Business hours, categories, any section that can be completed, we would highly recommend completing it fully. So that's tip number one. And then number two, make sure that your business logo is on there. It does recommend a square format. You want to make sure, because it does crop into a pretty small circle actually, but if it's in a square format, it fits pretty nicely there. Make sure you have that, your most recent logo updated. You can select one image as a cover photo. So you'll want to make sure that that's something that's engaging for your audience and captures their attention. And then you can also add interior photos of your business if you have a physical location. And a lot of times that is great for clients or potential customers because they can picture what the inside of the business looks like before they even get there. Number three, include important keywords and search phrases in your description and post to Google My Business. There are a lot of different types of posts that you can do. There's business updates. You can post special offers. If you have any type of promotion, like say book a remaining date in 2020 and get 20% off your booking, that's definitely something I would post about on your Google My Business page. Those limited time offers, you can even set them up with an expiration date. So that's a really nice tool. You don't have to remember to go back in and end them. They'll just do that automatically. But for any post that you're doing, whether it be just a business update or a promotion or an event that you guys might be having, make sure that you're including those important keywords and search phrases in your descriptions. And then we kind of already touched on this, but you want to make sure that all of your social accounts are linked properly, especially YouTube, because Google and YouTube are the same company, and Google owns YouTube. You want to make sure that that is set up correctly on your Google My Business profile. And then the question and answer section, this is kind of an interesting section because they allow consumers to submit questions, and they also allow businesses to proactively submit questions and answer the questions. We would highly recommend building out your question and answer section with the frequently asked questions that you get asked most often. You likely already have these written out on your website somewhere, so I would recommend picking the few that are the most popular and proactively kind of bulking up that Q&A section. And I really feel as well, and you can touch on this, Ashley, but I think if there's already questions and answers there, it's a lot more likely that people are going to use that section and ask, because it looks like, oh, well, this business is responsive. They answer questions that consumers ask. So you are able to go in and proactively do that yourself, and I would highly recommend doing that.
Yes. I mean, Google is, whether we like it or not, they're trying to answer every question a consumer might have without them even having to go to our websites. Again, whether we like it or not, this is the future. They are um, wanting to provide consumers with as much information that's relevant to whatever they're asking or needing to know. One thing with respect to the description, too, I'm going to jump back there for just a second. You have up to 750 characters to write your description. You should utilize the first 250 for the most relevant keywords for your business. And again, it shouldn't be, I know we're saying keyword a lot, and it shouldn't be stuffed with a bunch of keywords necessarily. Like, you've got to think about readability, and you want it to feel natural to someone that's reading the description. But you do definitely want to find a creative way to incorporate relevant keywords, the most relevant ones, in the first 250 characters of the text. And do not include links or any sort of HTML in the description part. But what we will get to in a minute, I believe, is a tip where you can do that in post, right, Allie?
Yes,
Okay.
that is coming up. So tip number 6, consider adding additional photos and videos. Like we mentioned, you can add your logo and the cover photo, but there are also additional categories for images, and you can add team photos, you can add interior photos. Like you saw earlier, you can add exterior photos. You can also add videos, which is great. So to the extent that you can just build out that photos and videos section with the most current content, keep it living and breathing by adding new. I think, Ashley, you read a statistic that they recommend once a week posting a new photo. Is that right?
New photo and new post once a week is what I have seen recommended. So again, I know it's just another social profile to manage, right? We have all of these entities, but this one is free and it's on the world's largest search engine. So I think if we're gonna prioritize one, this is definitely one to prioritize.
Yes, definitely. And I would really think of it as an extension of your marketing initiatives that you're already doing. You're already posting any business updates to your social media. You're also posting those to, your website, anywhere that you might be getting the word out. You might be putting signs up at your physical location. All of those updates should also be on your Google My Business page. And, we are firm believers in getting the most use out of every piece of content. So we're not saying you need to reinvent the wheel and have some brand new thing that you've never said on social media every single week. A lot of times for our clients, we will actually share similar messages to both platforms. And so that helps, without, you don't have to create quite as much content there.
Yeah, working smarter, not harder,
yeah.
right? So yeah, repurposing content. And if you've got some top performing piece of content on social that contains relevant information that other people searching on the World Wide Web might want to know, like, go ahead and include that on your Google My Business.
Definitely. And personally, I manage BrandLink's Google My Business page, and we will always post our blogs on Google My Business. So that's just another thing I would recommend. If you're blogging consistently, you can post those types of updates on there as well. So enable messaging from customers. This is something you have to do on the Google My Business app. So it's available on Apple phones, I think Android phones as well. You just download that app, and then you're able to enable messaging from customers where they can reach out directly to you on Google My Business. One thing that's interesting about this feature is you can set up an autoresponder, and it can be personalized. So that would definitely be our suggestion if you're going to enable messaging, because it's hard to always be on your phone. We know you're probably touring, you're probably having consultations, but we would recommend personalizing that autoresponder, and then also, turn on your notifications so that when someone does message you, you can get back to them as quickly as possible, just like you would with any other inquiry that comes in. Create local posts on a consistent basis. So this kind of goes back to what we talked about, but offers, events, products, and services. And then include links and calls to action on each post. So you don't include your links in the description, which is the 750 characters that Ashley mentioned, but there is a separate field when you're posting, whether it be an offer, an event, there's a separate field where you can put whatever you want that URL to be, where you're driving the traffic. And there's a list of pre-selected call to action. So I believe there's learn more, call now. I don't have the full list, but you can select which one is the most relevant to whatever you're posting, and including the links and the calls to action is something that you want to do on each and every post, whether that be just a business update or a product and service post. And then this also goes back to something we mentioned earlier, but you can use special attributes. This is a newer feature on Google My Business, and we love seeing them add little tags like this. So they have Black-owned, women-led, outdoor seating. There's a lot of different categories or tags that you can put on there if it's applicable to your business, and then it shows up right when someone searches for your business. So that's definitely something that we would recommend doing if it applies to you. And then if you have products, if your business sells any type of product, make sure that you're using Google My Business's product catalog to showcase those products, your pricing, details, and photos. So you can add all of those within the back end of the Google My Business platform. Within the product catalog is where you find those.
And if you're a restaurant or you're even a retail store, there are actually some new features that you can do a 360, like sort of panoramic video walkthrough of your place of business. We think those really help businesses stand out and give searchers a unique, view and perspective. So there's a way that you can add that, and you can even have it professionally done by, someone locally for, not a huge investment. So, but that's really if you're a restaurant, I would say, or maybe even just like a dental office or a medical provider or something like that. These 360 virtual tours are fairly new.
I could also see like a bridal boutique, a
Yes.
venue, businesses
Yes,
like that would be great.
for sure.
Just touching a little bit more on photos, this is an interesting statistic. Businesses that have photos on their listings receive 42% more requests for driving directions on Google Maps and 35% more click-throughs to their websites than businesses without photos. And that statistic is straight from Google. So this is just a little screenshot of some of the photos that Renew, the med spa we mentioned earlier, has on their profile. But it's interesting because you can see just from this quick little screen grab, you can easily look on each of these images and see how many people have actually seen that image.
Pretty astounding.
Mm-hmm. And then I think time to talk about reviews.
Yes. Okay. And Allie and I went back and forth on how much time to spend on the review process, because honestly, this could probably be its own separate webinar. But reviews are highly significant to the local map packs and your business ranking. I know there's lots of places where people can leave reviews for your business. But again, when you think about Google being the world's largest search engine, Google probably needs to top that list of where they're going to leave a shining, glowing review about your company. So developing a strategy around how to secure your Google reviews. There are all kinds of different ways that you can do that, and we're going to touch on some important points to consider as well. But again, just some stats. Google is the #1 site for online reviews, as evidenced by its 57.5% share of all online reviews. And I know I certainly am influenced by the online reviews that I see for businesses on Google. 63% of consumers say they are likely to check reviews on Google before visiting a business, more than any other review site. So again, I think it just speaks to the popularity of the search engine. According to customer review research, people don't really trust businesses with lower than a 4-star rating. And we all know that sometimes, unless we really have a Google review strategy in place, some people that tend to leave reviews are the ones that are unhappy, right? And so you can be a great business and have an unhappy customer that ends up leaving a poor star rating, or even, a third party related to a customer that leaves a poor star rating, that can really impact your business. So it's important to, make sure that we're engaging with happy customers that really loved our services and that they're leaving a review, because we all will be in a position where we have a less than stellar review that we're having to deal with. 80% of consumers say the star ratings they trust the most are 4.0, 4.5, and 5 stars. And to be honest, I think any consumer starts to, wonder, can I really trust the 5-star review across the board, just a perfect score? So don't be frustrated if you do see some reviews that come in that are less than 5 stars. And oftentimes we tell our clients that provides a real opportunity to, understand any feedback that they're giving you, and ways to improve the business so that, we can achieve higher and higher star ratings. I think we might have gotten a chat or question. Just want to make sure. Someone left a review that has never received any services from me. Yes, we hear that a lot too. There is a way that you can seek removal of the review, and many times Google will give a lot of credence to a concern of a business when the person did not directly receive the services. We've seen those removed on more than one occasion if they weren't the direct person to receive the services and are just a third party commenting on a business, and they never, did business with the company. So you can seek removal of that. And I would recommend that you walk through that process, or we can help you with that.
And that's just going to be on the back end of your Google My Business profile. There's a whole section for reviews, and you'll be able to see your reviews there, as well as, like Ashley said, dispute or challenge any of those types of reviews.
Mm-hmm. But regardless, to be honest, and I think this might be on the review tips coming up, it is important to respond to that review, even if it was a third party. We've helped clients with this, craft, a well thought out, message in response to a review of that kind, that also gives some context to other people that might be reading the review, so that they understand that the person didn't, do business with you directly. So you have to respond to any and all reviews, whether they're good or bad or third party or whatever. Google definitely weighs that in terms of ranking. Generate and share your Google review link. And this is on the business profile. Am I right, Allie, at the, share link where you can generate this link for yourself?
It is. So it's on the home page of Google My Business, and there's a little blurb. Maybe we can send a screenshot out after this, but it's just a little box, and it says reviews, and then you'll be able to click right there. It says generate share link, and then it looks just like this. So the cool thing is you can copy this and send it to anyone, and if they click on it, it takes them directly to your Google My Business page and directly to the reviews section. So it makes it very easy for you to request those reviews after you've, done a great job or provided a great service. You'll want to make sure to send this to your clients so that they can review.
I mean, you can make this link pretty too, if you want to, put it into a bit.ly URL shortener or something like that. You can make it easier for a customer to remember. You can include this in email marketing. You can include this on your website as a button. You can include this on a receipt that you might give to a customer. You can, include the link at your point of checkout or sale. I mean, there's so many places where you need to be prompting people to leave you a review, and using this link so that they don't have to go figure out where or how to do that.
I've even seen this in an email signature before, so you could include that there.
Very clever.
Develop a strategy for securing reviews that use the relevant keyword, i.e. Botox. So this is interesting because what we've learned is that when you're pulling for that local map pack, like we were talking about, keywords from your reviews actually can also help you get listed in that local map pack. So if you remember from before, it showed estate planning attorney. We have actually seen some results that are pulling that phrase, that estate planning attorney, out of a review, and that's what's ranking that business in the local map pack. So, Ashley, I'm curious to know what strategy you would recommend for someone to secure reviews, but asking someone to say, can you review me, but can you please include this specific phrase?
Yes, yes. Um, I mean, it is super important. I've seen it more and more this way that again, Google prioritizes reviews and it becomes more relevant to other searchers when they see that your Google My Business profile contains positive reviews using the exact search term that people are searching for. So if it is a wedding planner, it's probably not enough that they just say, oh, we loved working with so and so, she did such a great job. Like, if they could use that popular keyword phrase, wedding planner, that would make a big difference. And so, there does need to be a strategy in when you send out this link, asking them to, or prompting them to share the fact that they hired you as their wedding planner and incorporate that language into their review. I think there's probably several different ways that you can do that, but if you can think creatively about asking them to incorporate the search term, the specific phrase. And I think it's funny that we use Botox because a lot of people may not want to, share that they got Botox at a med spa, and that makes it challenging. But again, this is why it's so important to think through the review process. And think about how we're going to solicit those reviews from the people that don't mind sharing and requesting that they share those relevant keywords. I've seen when you perform different search, phrases on Google, and you can do some testing yourself of this. But first, what tends to populate is, hey, these are the businesses, and look at these reviews that incorporate Botox or laser hair removal, or, that type of thing. And it pulls in a little snippet of the review right under your Google My Business listing. If you don't have reviews, I've also seen some that still end up ranking, but it'll say the website mentions these keywords. So you'll start to see that as you kind of perform your own searches. Again, this goes back to tying in what content is on your website. Are we communicating the same thing across your Google My Business profile and all other web entities, including your website? So if you're a wedding planner, your website needs to scream you're a wedding planner. If you're a med spa and you do 10 different types of services, you've got to have core content pages that pertain to those services. Yes, go ahead, Allie.
I was just going to say, so our last tip for reviews, respond timely. So we've kind of already touched on this. You can do this from your desktop, or if you have the Google My Business app downloaded, you can set it up there. There is an autoresponder. We would recommend personally responding to reviews, especially those that might come in a little less favorable than you would want. But it's really neat. If you log into your Google My Business profile, it actually sorts them for you. So you can see a filter of all reviews, or you can narrow it down to see the ones you have or have not responded to. So that's a really quick way to go in and, filter by ones you have not responded to and go in and just go ahead and respond. It does alert the consumer who left the review that you've responded. So especially on those negative reviews, I think it's just a great opportunity for another touch point with that customer who may not have been the most satisfied, and another point for you to reach out and hopefully mend any type of relationship there.
There's also an article on Wed Society, and I'll try to pull up the link before the webinar ends, that if you wanted to automate the review process, and again, automations can be done in a way that still feels extremely personal, but in a way that just helps you streamline your business operations. And what we've done is really through email, and it's, you've all seen these, answer one question for us, or, how did we do? And it lets them rank your business from 1 to 5 stars, like in an email or on a landing page, and ask them to do that. And if they rank it 4 or 5 stars, or whatever you want to set as the positive review range, then it would send them to Google My Business automatically, and say, prompt them to leave more of a review there. If it's anything less than 4 or 5 stars, it generates them to another landing page on your website, typically, that would say, customer service is very important to us. We'd appreciate your feedback. And that's also a way to kind of limit sometimes people that might otherwise jump right to Google and leave a review that isn't positive and glowing. So, and again, there's just so much we can learn from the reviews, positive or negative. So, don't get too down on yourself just because, you get a negative review, because there's a lot we can learn from it. And those can be turned around. We've seen that time and time again, or removed. If the business responds in a favorable way and makes the customer happy, they may take it down.
And I just wanted to make a point. We've mentioned a few different links that we've included in this slideshow, and we haven't been able to put them in the chat box as quickly since we're maintaining the slideshow too, but I will send an email out after this to everyone on the webinar that has links to everything we've talked about on the call, just so you have them. So I wanted to bring that up before we jump over to reporting and insights. So there are a lot of different really cool things that you can see on your Google My Business profile. We're just going to cover a few of these pretty quickly. I know we're coming up on the hour. So how customers search for your business. This is broken down into 3 different categories. There's direct, discovery, and branded. So direct would be customers who find your listing searching for your business name or address. So they're just typing in, Renew Wellness and Aesthetics or that address. Discovery is more of the keyword type search. So they might be searching Botox OKC, or they might be searching Med Spa OKC. So that's category, product, or service. And then there is also branded search. So that could be that you pop up, let's say that someone searched for a different med spa in OKC, but then Renew Wellness and Aesthetics showed up under there because it was a relevant result. So that can also happen. So you can see all of this reporting from the back end of your Google My Business profile. This is the 1 month view, but you have a few different options on time frame. You can look at quarterly. This is also interesting. So this is how they view your business. It's either on search or on maps. So either they're looking at, your Google My Business profile on their Google, maybe it's even their app on their phone, or it could be the Maps website, Google Maps, or it's just the search. So kind of interesting. You can see here, this business is being found on both, but definitely being found more frequently on search than they are maps. And then some more reporting that you can see. This one is my personal favorite. I think it's so interesting. You can see the actions that customers are taking on your Google My Business. So within the last month, you can see for this business, there were 309 total actions taken. That was 198 website visits, 46 people requested directions, 65 people called, and then this specific business does not have messaging set up, so you'll see it zeroed out there. But if you do set up the Google My Business messaging, like we talked about on the app, you could also see those reports here too. And I don't have a screenshot of it on here, but one of the other things that you can see is for those direction requests, you can actually look at, it looks like a heat map, but you can see what areas around you people are coming to your business from, which is super helpful, especially if you're thinking about running any type of advertising like social media targeted advertising or Google targeted advertising. If you know the areas that people are already searching for you, I would definitely include those zip codes in all of your different targeting campaigns. So also you can see phone calls, photo views, insights, and within the photo views insights, you can also see how you compare to other businesses that are similar to you. So not only how your images are performing, but how it compares to other people in that same space. Anything to add on insights before we jump over to our website tips?
No, we could probably spend even an hour just on the insights and how to interpret them. So, but yes, all great and relevant.
So this is interesting. Go ahead, Ashley.
Yes. Oh, just a few website tips, things that we know as tactics and strategies to help optimize your appearance in local search. Google, again, it goes to sort of the trustworthiness. You are who you say you are. If you will go about embedding the Google map that's on your Google My Business listing on your website, that sends all sorts of relevant signals to Google that you are the web property that you say you are, and here's a map to your location. So this oftentimes is seen on a contact page, maybe an about page. Sometimes I've even seen it in the footer across all pages of a website. The only thing that you'll want to make sure about on that is that it doesn't slow down the speed of your site. We all know that speed is important for website rankings, but you can embed it there as well. And then tied into that is driving directions. Just like you can get driving directions on your Google My Business profile, if you will just include that same link and title it driving directions on your website. So you'll have your map and then have the link to driving directions. That will definitely send all the right signals to Google that you are who you say you are.
Relevancy.
Go ahead, Allie.
I just said it goes back to the relevancy like we talked about.
Yes. And then understand what the most important keywords are that you're trying to rank for. Again, on your website, that you're using all the same relevant keywords there, just as you are on your Google My Business profile. And install Yoast. Over 50% of websites are powered by WordPress this day and age, and Yoast is a tool that can be installed. That is a fantastic SEO tool to help you optimize your website and individual landing pages. And then the last thing is to conduct a site audit and stay connected with Search Console. Search Console is another tool that Google offers that's free, that lets you see what sorts of queries people are searching for to find your business and what your top landing pages are. And it may surprise you. So doing a site audit or working with a company like ours, or someone else that's more skilled in this area, to help you run a site audit and understand what you currently are ranking for and what opportunities there are for you to rank higher in search is a great investment in your business. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to add, so I think that kind of wraps up our presentation. We covered first of all, what Google My Business is, why is it important, what is the map pack, how do you rank on the map pack, or how do you get the best opportunity to rank on the map pack. We talked a lot about reviews, we talked a little bit about photos, also about insights on the back end. I'm curious if we have any questions before we wrap up here.
Tried to answer a few along the way. I thought there was one that said after the webinar, there was a question. Looking back for that. Okay. I would like to hire, okay. This is someone that wants to reach out and do some work with BrandLink and Wed Society. So I will forward that to you, Allie.
Perfect.
Probably yes.
Into this package. So we are, like Ashley mentioned, I work on the BrandLink side of the business. So I help manage some of our clients on the marketing agency side. And we've put together this little special package for everyone who signed up and attended this webinar. So it's the Google My Business Optimization Package. It's a 2-part package. There's a one-time setup and optimization fee. That's $600. But that does get full setup and optimization of your Google My Business profile based on all of the best practices that we talked about on this webinar. We will add all the relevant business information, obviously in conjunction with communicating with you, making sure that we have all of the accurate information, and also ensure that your social profiles are all added and up to date with Google, whether that be YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, making sure that those are all connected. And then there is the ongoing management piece. So as you probably have gleaned from this webinar, it's so important to be paying attention to this profile and keeping it living and breathing with fresh content. So that needs to be an ongoing effort. So it's $250 a month. That just means that we're consistently posting keyword rich content. We're doing some of those listing management things like we talked about, where we're making sure that your NAIP or name, address, and phone number are consistent across all the different directory sites. We also will post photos for you, any type of updates or events that you're hosting, we can absolutely post on there. And then also review oversight and suggestions is included with that $250 a month. So for anyone interested, I will be sending out a follow-up email after this with the links from the presentation. I'll go ahead and include the information about the package in that follow-up email too. Feel free to just reply to my email directly. I can hop on a call with anyone who might want to dive in a little bit deeper and learn more about what this package includes. But we're just super excited to have you guys here today, and happy to offer this as a special package for anyone on the webinar.
Yes, thank you all so much for joining us. Thanks for kicking off your Monday in this way. We hope you learned something, took some nuggets of information, and if we can be of further assistance, just let us know. And please, if you haven't already, make sure you're on the email list for not only WED Society so that you get notice of these webinars, but also you might want to subscribe to BrandLink Media if you're interested in more up-to-date, marketing strategies and marketing related topics. But thank you all for being here, and we look forward to the next one. Happy Monday.
Absolutely. Thank everyone.
Thank you. We'll stay on just a couple of more minutes just to make sure there aren't any more questions, but we appreciate it. Thank you, Maria.
Thank everyone. Have a great week.
Okay, I think we're good, Allie.
All right.
All right. Talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.